It is time now to review headlines of today's newspapers, and we're going to start with the newspaper of record, which is, of course, This Day on Saturday.
Absolutely, Adesua, and we start with the lead story. FG, federal government, Afreximbank sealed $3 billion deal to boost industrialization, CNG, others. Partnership to attract $2 billion investment, create 20,000 jobs. Good news from the Bahamas, isn't it?
Yes, a lot of good news coming out. Arise has been covering, this Afreximbank, I think, to that 31st annual meeting. And like just as you rightfully said, this is a partnership that is set to attract $2 billion in investments and create 20,000 jobs. Absolutely,
and I like the fact that it's also focusing on CNG because that's the future, that's the direction that everybody's talking about. And what happened to the CNG component of, we're expecting that there will be a landmark statement either on Democracy Day or May 29.
About CNG and the kits, the conversion kits, right? This is what we talk about when we talk about intentionality in policy. You said we should convert to CNG. Yes. You've said that they're going to be CNG buses. It is cheaper than what we're currently using, which is PMS to fuel our cars and our transportation and our food. However, the kits need to be imported. And so if there is a tariff on importing the CNG kits, then you have not been intentional on every single layer of the policy. Instead of subsidizing or giving out some free kits, make sure that individuals can import the kits without having to pay extra taxes or extra tariffs on it. So I think, we need a government that thinks top to bottom on every single level of this issue. I think
clarity, intentionality, you're very correct, because somebody did throw that out at the time, that come May 29th or June 12th, that there was going to be a kind of a policy statement on where we are and the direction that this administration will go. But good news, at least, from the Bahamas, and $3 billion, by the way, it's not a small figure. On top of that story, Kano governor ordering arrest of Emir Bayero violated his fundamental rights, court holds. Awards 10 million naira damages against state, set to rule on motion seeking nullification of Kano Emirates law on June the 20th. Interesting development from Kano there, where two cousins are still at daggers drawn over who ought to be the monarch. Over that important thing. We wait till June 28th. Shall we say that Emir Bayero has scored the first goal or something?
Well, I don't think so. I mean, this has nothing to do with his...
With whether he will remain as Emir or not.
Yes.
Absolutely. You're right. Okay, on top of that, I'm sure Sheita, Burna Boy set new highest grossing tour record for African artists in Canada. That story is on page 6.
Yes.
About $5.7 million. From about 69,000 tickets. That's a big deal for Burna Boy. That's a big deal for Afrobeat. It's a big deal for Nigerian music and African music industry. And if anybody is still in doubt as to who the poster boy for Afrobeat is at the moment, is no other, than Auntie Bosse's son.
Maybe that's, I don't want to say that's the only reason, but he was in the news, of course, earlier this week as well, where he went to Port Harcourt and he apparently paid off all the bills for the patients at the hospital, at the teaching hospital, and then also
that was very kind of him.
Yes, and also went to share out food items and the rest just to those who are in need. Of course, Burna Boy, even despite his very big personality, shows that he has a very kind...
his excesses, isn't it?
Has a very kind heart.
Absolutely. But that's some good money there,
isn't it? Of course.
All right, you're going to point me...
Oh, the picture.
Oh, the cover picture. I was going to come there last, but now that you've pointed it out, welcome to Lagos.
Oh.
Lagos welcomes the city boy.
Yes.
That shows Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu receiving President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the presidential wing of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos on Tinubu's arrival ahead of Salah celebrations.
Yeah, I mean, I had to face the traffic caused by No, I faced it in Abuja because my flight was right before the president's. Then it was delayed.
When he was leaving for the airport.
When he was leaving, I was sat on the highway in Abuja with, just in the heat, just chilling with a bunch of fellow Nigerians on the side of the road for a while there. And then, the flights were delayed because there would be an embargo so that the president's plane can take off. And then reach Lagos, so obviously also face other traffic because the Lion of Bodilon is back, so the Jagaban is back.
City boy is up.
Yes, so
the Lion is now on.
Yes, now on.
Anyway, on top of the masthead, federal government declares Monday, Tuesday public holidays for Eid al-Adha celebration. Simply put, it's for Salah celebration.
So coming over to yours then.
Oh no, I shall not be. I will be on air.
There are implications at this one. I've been half Muslim is no excuse. There are implications. I hope that these 2 days will remain 2 days, because I remember the last time that the Interior Ministry announced public holiday, an extra day had to be added. So let's stay with Monday and Tuesday. For reasons best known to us, we enjoy these sort of days. On the window, G7 leaders pledge $420 million investment in Nigeria, other African countries. Additional says resource-backed loans, a disaster for Africa. Is it talking about the kind of loans that we're taking with a crude?
Yes, and I think it's not just a Nigerian problem here. It is a significant African problem, particularly with loans that we take from China, that African countries take from China, where you promise them your oil, your minerals, your resources. Yeah. He described this as scavenging. I saw the comment earlier.
It is
actually scavenging. It's
financial advantage of the desperation of other countries.
Yes, because we are lacking in resources. It shows the power imbalance sometimes in these negotiation tables, and you also need us to not come. You should never come to a negotiation table with desperation, even if you are cash strapped, because what is happening is that we are mortgaging the future of our generations and our countries.
It's only a slavery situation that can lead you to that sort of a thing.
With such obscure terms to the loan agreements, and there's the article I think is brilliant. It talks about even how the Congo Basin is it's bigger than the Amazon.
Let's hope that the right authorities in Africa, all over Africa, are listening to him. Last but not the least, Argon president, local governments can pay 62,000 minimum wage. These are the local government that the president is fighting for, so that they can collect their money directly. Even before they get to that Eldorado, here they are saying that they can't afford. Who therefore can afford anything? But they can afford all the perks.
And a new plane.
Oh my God, and a new plane. If we can quickly take the Saturday Punch, only because it relates directly to what we're talking about on this minimum wage. The cover story there reads: the National Assembly may propose seizing defaulting states and local government allocations. According to the Senate, the new minimum wage bill will be watertight and must be obeyed by all. The Labour hails NAS. OPS asks National Assembly to create good environments for businesses.
They're trying to tackle one illegality with another. It is such a...
When you see the money, so bizarre. You use it to pay the workers directly? Or what?
It's a federation. What do you mean you're going to seize the allocation of a state?
It does.
A governor saying they're not going to pay is illegal.
Learn from the fight between Lagos and federal. When Ashwaji was the governor in Lagos State, and Obasanjo, illegally seized what is
we still recall.
Exactly, we recall. Please let them learn. Let them learn. From
last word on Saturday Punch, because this is directed at you. Hoarding salah meats from your neighbors is sinful. Igbo Islamic cleric says on page 2. I'm your neighbor.
Read that again. read that again with emphasis.
Hoarding salah from your neighbors is sinful. You don't want to be seen in
It is the end of the morning show. I believe it is the end.